Hello and welcome everyone to episode 2 of Polyhedron Presents Trinity Continuum Anima. I want to be sedated. Oh man, I almost got it. I almost had it.
Come on,
One
man.
day-
You have to
one day
screw
you'll
it
get
up
it.
every time. Like, that's the gimmick.
That's just the bit.
I want to be sustated.
I want to be reinstated. Wait,
Give me your badge and your gun.
Reanimated.
I didn't have one to begin with. What?
you're the only one now. What the hell's wrong with you?
Anyways, welcome everyone to episode 2. We are super excited to be here. We're going to go through quick introductions and then we're going to get right to the action. So Ryan, start us off.
Hi, I'm Ryan Jofesberg. I'm one of the co-hosts of Polyhedron, and I am playing Hamish Connor, and right now I'm playing Cheap Shot.
Cheap Shot. We'll explain that in a moment. Scott,
we'll get
go.
Hi, my name's Scott Kuban. I'm a co-host of Polyhedron, and I run Simulacra Studios. It's Simulacra TV and on YouTube and Twitch, another actual play studio. And I am currently playing Makhno, who is currently playing Lorge, a Kumdiri Red Blade warrior.
And Dixie, what about you?
Hi, I'm Dixie Cochran. My pronouns are she, her. I'm Dixie Cyanide on social media. And I am currently playing Poppy Zed, who is currently playing her alt, Aegea.
If this hasn't confused you, just wait. I am Matthew Malice. I'm also co-host of Polyhedron, and I'm currently playing Guy Bennitti, a scientist, and I will be playing Intos, a bug person explorer. We'll get into that in a minute. And Eddie, go with you.
My name is Eddy Webb. My pronouns are he, him. I am one of the in-house developers in Onyx Path. I am the developer of Trinity Continuum Anima, and I am playing literally everybody else.
That is your job.
That's my job. I'm Storyguide.
All right, so Eddie, take it away.
All right. Last we left off, our 4 Aeon Covenant agents were brought together by a man named Connor Malone, who is the head of Project Neptune Special Operations. And they were asked to look into the disappearance of an anima by the name of Helicastro, who is part of Guy's Guild, which is the Rangers of Honor. And so after reconvening to Guy's apartments, which he said was very secure, everyone got ready to log into Herasurge, which is this immersive MMO. So everyone closed their eyes, activated their glass. They got the loading screen, and they're getting ready to go in, and it's blackness, then it becomes white. You see the word loading, and then eventually the loading word fades, and you see the Herasurge logo. And within moments, you are dropped into your character selection screens. So as we zoom around to each character selection screen, describe which character you're pulling up. So we'll start with Scott.
Scott, Makhno only really has one character on file. It is Lorge, the Kumdiri Fearless Red Blade. It is a very simple, like sort of black loincloth, black fur, big dog guy with a large hump on his back. He's currently wielding this just ridiculously like huge like black axe, which he recently got on a nice epic loot drop. It's called the Obsidian Way, and it just destroys things. As he selects the button, you also see his username above that in like sort of the loading text. It's Bolt Cutters 2028. Bolt Cutters 2084.
Nice. Ryan?
So loaded in, I am a Vier, which is a bird person. And I guess if you've seen the most recent Zeldas, the race of bird people, I imagine they look a lot like them, maybe more human, I'm not sure. But he is a stark white bird person with heavy armor, sword at his belt, and his name is Cheap Shot.
Nice. Matthew?
So Guy's actually flipping between 2 of them, but then he settles back on the first one because he's got multiple characters. And the character he set on is a Quell, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. They are insectoids. So he is human-sized, but he is obviously segmented, sort of centaur style, but in all chitinous armor, but all his features are fairly rounded. They are more appealing to like the human sensibility, and he's got multiple sort of scythe-like arms that are connected close to his body, and then 2 large, more articulate, like 4-fingered hands that he can actually do stuff with. He's just got like belts and pouches and stuff and potions on him as he loads up.
Okay. And Dixie.
Yeah, so you see on Poppy Zed's selection screen, when she loads in, you first see her, like, main character, who is, like, a level, highest level, I think it's 70 in our game right now. Like, just decked out, magic user, gorgeous. Actually, she's also a Quell, but she has, like, blue butterfly colors. And then she, like, scrolls down. She has a few different alts. Most of them are very, very carefully crafted. She has spent lots of time or paid somebody to spend lots of time making these the most beautiful characters they can. And then she goes to a different like server select screen so that you can tell that she's like not on Poppy Zed right now because nobody can see her. And that's where you see Aegea, who is a Cherovian. They are a peoples in the game that can be various kinds of fish, shrimp, lobsters, crabs, all kinds of different sea creatures, but as humanoids. And Aegea is a blue and red beta fish. So she has blue skin. She has little like kind of gill-like things around her neck, very delicate looking. She has a very humanoid body, but her fingers are webbed, and she has little fins that come off of her arms and the backs of her legs. And she's clearly some kind of caster because she's wearing very simple like silk armor, just kind of, almost like a long dress type thing. And she has a very, very thin staff that has coral wrapped around it. It's like a thin metal staff with coral and a glowing seashell on the end.
Okay. Just for the audience's knowledge, how Anima works is that all these characters known as Anima do actually have separate character sheets. So they're smaller, they're streamlined. The dice rolling work pretty similar to core Trinity, but there are some nuances and distinctions that we'll get into as we play the game. If you're a Patreon subscriber, we get a much more deeper dive into what some of those changes would possibly be, but we'll kind of gloss over them for now. As you all log in, you all see a notification on your screens that says, nearby players found. Would you like to organize pickup group? Yes, no.
Yes.
Boop.
No, I want a specific group. I don't want a pickup group.
Oh, wait.
It's referring to the 4 of you together.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Real Dixie has played too much World of Warcraft.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
we get a whole bunch
no,
of
I hate
randos.
bugs. I don't want a bug.
Now we make Eddie play a bunch of randos, and it just devolves from there.
Right, yeah. It's like
And now
arm slasher 25 is like, what's up?
In that case, yes, I do want to join this group.
This is a small case of linguistic drift. Over time, pickup group has now meant I want to play with people in my immediate area physically.
Okay.
Because that's a thing they can do now. Cool. So you click on that, and then a small picture of a pug briefly appears and disappears. And then which of you would like to be designated the leader of the pickup group?
Which skill set is the most useful for? Is there a skill that like helps that along?
So it's up to the player. The characters you are playing get to make this decision. That's something that's worth kind of digging into a little bit. Is that you should be thinking about not what you as the person on this stream would necessarily do, but what the character you're playing, what they would do with this character. But the information you have in front of you is that you're probably going to be doing investigations, probably going to be a lot of talking, and you do know that Broken Promise is a large city. So you're probably not going to get into a fight, but you might. So that may help decide which the leader is going to be.
Bobby.
Yeah,
This is kind of your. I mean, if you
I know
need,
all the lore. I can talk to people.
and if you need backup on chatting someone up, let me know. Okay.
And if we get into trouble, oh man, this thing really isn't normally my jam, but I do love making things disappear with this axe. It is just glorious.
That is that an epic? Is that epic?
Yeah,
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Did you really just name your character Lorge?
yeah.
He's
Why not?
It's because he's a large boy.
I'm a large boy.
See?
All Kundari are Lorge.
Yeah, but
But he's Lord, you see.
I'm large.
How did you get that name?
I don't know. I was just messing around with it. Anyway, yeah, we should definitely look into things. If we're going to get into anything serious, I'll definitely back you guys up. Actually, probably want to get. So he like pulls out this like tiny dinky little axe. Like this, I've had this thing forever. I should probably switch it out for some armor or something.
Probably. I may know a few people in Broken Promises. My guild's very good at finding things.
Yeah, I could probably use magical focus. I actually don't have one.
All right, but anyways, that aside.
Did
folks,
you throw away your starting gear?
I don't. Well, I just had this sword, and I don't use it very much.
Huh, okay.
I just went a different direction. I don't know.
I don't play that often.
I mostly I was given this character at level 10. Okay, I just kind of I've been working it up, trying to understand how it works.
If you look over like the head of Intos, his character, it says level 8. He's the lowest level of all of you guys. I haven't been working on this. I've been
you're actually talking. All of you are standing in kind of a white void as you're having this conversation. So your characters actually sitting here talking to each other until you finally decides that it's going to be Poppy's character that leads, and so a small crown appears over her head. And then in front of Poppy, she sees the map of Senestia, which is the world that Terra Surge is based in, and says, which loading zone would you like to select?
Poppy's got way better graphics and body type stuff, so it's actually just turns into a little crown made of coral.
Oh, nice.
Which goes on her head. Do we want to start where he disappeared, or do we want to start in the city asking questions?
Let's start in the city, ask questions, and then we can go out and explore.
You can't res directly where he disappeared. There's some travel there, but you can go to mainly. If you're zooming in, you can either go to Broken Promise directly, or there are the aqueducts to the east, which lead right to the Baratul Basin, which is closer to where he resed, but further away from the city proper.
We can get to the city first. We can go there later. Does that work for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, travel time probably isn't that bad, right?
Not a big deal. All right, let's go.
Okay. So you push the button. The map zooms in and it covers your whole vision, and then you feel yourself almost like you're falling towards Earth. And then at the last minute, the zoom slows down, and you find yourself very gently standing on sand. You're in a desert city. The sky above is beautiful, kind of orange and a little bit of purple. The sand dunes kind of whisper behind you, and in front of you, you see a thriving city. It is massive, especially by MMO standards. There are probably several thousand characters moving around in this city. And as you look over the city, the title screen, the titles of the show appear, and you see Chapter 2, Holidays in the Sun. And you make your way into the city, and there are merchants there with bags over their heads. There are inns, there are weapon shops, but also there are houses, there are shops, there are buildings. Unlike modern MMOs, there are people who have entire lives just living inside these cities. And Broken Promise is actually one of the bigger full immersion cities in the game. So there are people who log in every day, farm the fields, take care of their family, have dinner, and then log out and have their normal life. Also, the buildings here are a mixture of mud, sand, and cloth. So they're all first floor buildings. So they tend to build out rather than up. So it's constantly expanding and getting bigger. And certainly if you've been playing the game for a while, you've probably logged back in here and you've seen the city that's gotten a little bit bigger. Certainly Scott's character's probably actually seen the city grow over the few times he's played. There's a wall that it kind of surrounds the inner city, as it were, which is kind of the old city. And there actually is a second wall that's currently being constructed. And out in the distance, you do see that there are 3 pyramids that have also been built. And off to the east, you can kind of smell water, and you. For those of you who've been in the city before, you know there's an aqueduct off to the east, which leads to a basin that's the only source of water in this desert. But the city itself is a maze of alleys and roads and dead ends. There are markets and plazas full of vendors selling their wares. There are also lots of thieves. There's a thriving thieves guilds in this area, some of which are player characters, some of which are not. So with this huge city in front of you, I should clarify, this is also a Kumdari city. We talked about that. The Kumdari are kind of a dog-like peoples. They have a pronounced hump, but otherwise they kind of have a jowly face and fur. So they're the predominant people in the city, but there are lots of other people. There are Quell, there are Cheruvians, there are humans, all kinds of peoples come here, and many of them player characters, some are NPCs as well. This is a relatively cosmopolitan city, even though it's a Kumdari starting area. Mm-hmm. So with all of that, where would you like to go?
Where's the plaza/market that tends to have more actual PCs hanging around in it?
There is one big plaza kind of it's in the old part of the city. It's roughly the center of town. And it's something that Poppy knows. This was actually one of the very first starting areas when the game first launched. When it was really just kind of a small town. And so this was you make your character, you show up here, you do some simple jobs for merchants as you grind to get your first few levels. So this is, there's always going to be player characters in the areas, many of them very young, but also even experienced characters will swing back through sometimes to drop off old gear to newer players to help them out. Sometimes they'll settle down as merchants to sell epic gear to other player characters and so on. Okay. And it's kind of called the main market. It doesn't really have a name.
All right. I will lead everybody that way.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go to the market. Ask them.
As we get close to it, he pulls out like a parchment, like a bound pieces of parchment. And basically in there is an interface that says, letting my guild know that I'm online. Like if anyone wants to contact me.
As you open your parchment, you do see a number of messages have been left. And most of them are just quest results, people asking for gear, people donating gold or gear to the guild. But through there, you also do get a notification that Hel Castro has left the guild. And that is dated about the same time as the disappearance occurred.
Okay, I will take that information and then I guess I can send a PM to all of these people, my party group.
Yep. You can talk to just us, or you can talk out loud. It's just like if you ever played an MMO and you talk in like party chat versus talking
He'll
in,
party
like,
chat
say.
everyone. Yeah, he'll party chat everyone and go, "Hey, I've got confirmation. This is again just another piece of evidence of when he left, when he was forcibly logged off. However, that may have happened."
Can you maybe reach out to some of those people, like maybe people who are closer to him?
Yeah,
or just send a guild message.
Yeah, I'm going to do that in a minute when we got to the central hub. Or let them know that I'm online so that they can contact me freely. So when we get to there, I will send a message out that, hey, I'm looking for people that knew... What is his name? Because every time you say it, it always
Hel Castro.
El Hestro?
Hel Castro.
Hell.
Okay.
Hel Castro.
Castro. Got it.
Dictator.
Yeah. Hel Castro.
Got it. I'll be like, I'm looking for people who knew Hel Castro. There was like, I needed to talk with him and I haven't been able to find him. Just kind of reach out like that and see if anyone responds.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 400 gold, yo.
So you leave a message. We'll do that. Let me know when you check your messages. We'll deal with that then.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the marketplace. And like I said, it is thriving. UI is optional in Terra Surge. You can turn it on and off as you want to be immersive or not. So you can quickly toggle it on and see that a lot of the people here are level 1, level 2 Kumdari. But they're also, like I said, some double-digit level people walking around and a lot of NPCs. So what kind of characters are you looking to talk to?
If there's like a merchant or somebody who would just like, especially if they would sell like rare goods or maps or things like that, especially if it's a higher level player who's maybe been there a while.
You do see a human. He has a small tent in kind of off to the side, kind of purple tents. There's some banners in front of it. but human purplish robes, and he has a chest that you recognize as kind of an inventory chest. So it's pretty common for merchants to they have a display of their wares, but that's usually just kind of the setting material. The actual things you buy, you go to the chest, you open it up, and it shows you the things you could potentially buy. And he kind of looks at you and is like, welcome. You look like a discerning connoisseur of items.
What is his name over his head?
Lunid.
Lunid?
Yeah, Luned.
Hi, Lunid. I'm sorry, I'm not here to RP right now. I'm just wondering if you knew a person named Hel Castro, or if you saw them recently. They're one of our friends, and we're kind of trying to check on them because we haven't heard from them in a couple of days.
The voice switches to a more feminine voice. Like, I think I saw him a day or two ago. Is he part of the Explorer Guild?
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah. I think he was trying to do a tour on the Sand Sea.
Okay.
But I haven't heard anything since then. And since I told him he's probably a little underlevel for trying that, but he seems, apparently it's a thing he does for his stream. So I was like, whatever, dude.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Just taking a low-B character out there, see what happens. That could be fun and entertaining. All right. Any indication, like, did he have anything else going on besides that? Or just gonna go walk across the sand sea like a big weirdo?
Not that I know of. Why? Is there something up? Is there an event happening?
Like I said, no, I just haven't heard from him in a couple of days, and it's weird because he doesn't usually fuck off like this.
Huh.
So we're just checking on him. It's okay. I figure I would, check out what he was doing in game to see if there was a reason he might be like off for a couple of days, or if he had mentioned anything like, "Oh, I just want to do this, and I'm going on vacation." You know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, none of that. I mean, he was total hardcore RP, which is weird for an exploration guild.
Oh, right.
But he was into it, and he was like, I'm going to go conquer the sand sea. And I was like, whatever, dude. And he's like, no, you listen to me, and went up and did his thing. I mean, there was one weird thing. Like, he said something about the Shadows of Ending. Have you heard of them?
I'm assuming that she has not.
You can, if you want to see what your character would know, you can make a lore roll. If you want to see what Poppy would know, you can make a culture roll.
I want to see what Poppy would know. It makes more sense to me right now.
Okay, so we'll pop back that. We'll talk about dice rolling for animals. Yep.
Sure. I rolled 2 successes.
Okay. All you know about Shadows of Ending is they're a griefing guild.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's the guild. They are not nice.
Oh, well, that's probably why I haven't heard of them.
Yeah. They're not great. They're the kind that like to try to like break into your stronghold when you're streaming, or try to like get an RPer to drop character, or, you know, just those jerks that just want to ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
Bleep those guys.
Right?
And actually, you hear a bloop.
Poppy doesn't. She has that filter turned way off.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just like, thank you for your information. I'll let you get back to your game. Didn't want to disturb you for too long. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
I have a quick question about the lore skill.
Sure.
Do player organizations over time, do the narrators include them in the lore of the world?
Yes. Yeah,
So the Rangers of Honor would, if you roll a lore against them, they will have something what might pop up.
Right. But generally speaking, because so let's talk about this. The skills that your anima have are what your anima would know or have access to. So in the case of something like lore, it would be the equivalent of the game giving you a pop-up screen, giving you dumps. So you'll get just what the in-game information about that organization is. If you want to know, like what you would go to a website to find out about, then that would be not a character role, that would require culture.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
There's a bit of meta you have to think about when you're playing in Terra Surge, because it's like Poppy's thinking about this, not Aegea. But sometimes it's like, but Poppy doesn't know magic, and Aegea does. So
quick question. Could I have like a window that I could search the web while I'm actually in Terra Surge?
Yep, it's completely modifiable as far as all that goes. You could have maps, you can have chats, you can have the UI, you can have a Google window.
Okay. If nothing else, sometimes people like to have walkthroughs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
you could just look up some of the information that higher end people may have uncovered and put on the web somewhere.
Sure. And then now I'll switch it from like a culture role to something more like a research role.
Right, correct. Cool. Then understood.
Well, the nice thing that I like about the story path system is that it is very flexible and you can kind of adjust skills based on what you want to do.
Sure. While she's probably talking to that person, I'm actually just going to actually look at the wares, like what is actually being sold right now, that is anything of value or unique rarity in it. He's actually like doing the game thing.
So you look around, there's a lot of basic equipments. I mean, because really the market is people who showed up with a handful of gold, and that's about it. So that's pretty common. However, there are obviously Lunid has some unusual items, and if you want to search through his wares, you do see that he's got some magic items. He's got some weapons. They're all kind of in the uncommon and magic rarity range. Not quite rare, not quite epic.
Yeah.
Because he can't flog rare and epics in this area.
No, maybe not. Okay, he'll just look over it and see if anything's interest, because he's mostly looking for crafting materials, but that's fine.
I look forlornly at my 0 gold.
Wah, wah.
You need some gold.
There is a crafting guild, there are supply stores, I should say, in town as well. So if you want to look for specific crafting supplies, you can go to, there's a place that sells wood, a place that sells metal, a place that sells stone.
I'm going to check my messages, and then I'm going to probably head over there if nothing has popped up.
Okay. So now we're actually going to make a roll for your contacts, as it were.
Yep.
So let's call that presence, and then add a dot for your guild.
Add a dot for the guild.
Yeah, so
right,
presence and then add a die.
Presence was only 2. So okay if I use a momentum,
Sure.
everyone?
Go for it.
Yeah.
You're
I
down to
can
3?
use momentum in Terra Search.
Yes, you can use momentum in Terra Search.
Great.
You
Trying to see
cannot
if
use
there's
your
anything
gifts or
else.
inspiration.
So this is mostly an out of Terra Surge roll, right?
Yep.
Okay. So nothing in Terra Surge would really help me. Okay. I botch.
Okay.
Because I got 3 7s and a 1.
So you send a message to the guild, and the guild leader messages you back and says, you haven't logged in a while. And the first time you log in, you're asking for information. So we're going to put you on a 3-day suspension until you contribute to the guild more.
The bug is like, puts his mandibles up and is like,
What happened, man?
they put me on suspension.
Damn.
My dues are overdue.
You can't even talk to them anymore.
They,
Man, that just got too real.
Dude, they
Yeah.
just did you? Oh, that's. I don't know if I want to be part of this guild anymore.
I forgot how strict they were with their schedules of supplies, because this is how they keep the everything running around here.
Oh, dude, I haven't. I mean, am I in trouble?
You're new enough that it doesn't affect you as
Oh
much.
man, I don't want to
Has
be.
to
Well,
do
we're on the clock here, so Hamish, maybe, maybe you should give it a shot.
Maybe you can
He's
talk
just
to him.
gonna
Maybe-
also get banned.
What? I can try. I mean, oh no, I might lose my social cachet with these nerds.
Hey,
All right, sure, let's do this thing.
Yeah, you may don't talk to. He gives you a couple names, like don't. I message this guy. Don't talk to that guy. Go over here or something.
So because like sweet baby boy doesn't exactly know how to lie good, I'll try lying better, and I will say it's like because I obviously didn't see him get like blown out by the guild leader or whatever just now.
Right.
So I was like, oh yeah, I was watching his stream the other night when things went weird. Any ideas on that? Anyone know what happened?
Well, you could try manipulation and add a die.
Yay. Manipulate. What was the skill associate, or is it raw?
It's not a skill associate. You're rolling. It's a phantom contact functionally.
Okay,
I mean, you're
Yeah.
treating it as if you had a contact.
Yep.
2. Do we do 10 again in this system, or is it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's good news. Oh, all right, 1 success.
All right.
By the way, that momentum I bought, we were now up to 5 momentum because I botched. So
That's true. Well, you spent it. It was 4. We're down to 3 and back to 4. So
well,
Is the
I bought
cap-
botches got you an extra one.
Is the cap the number of people, or is there a?
no, 3 times the number of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get 1 success. And someone from the guild's like, yeah, El Castro bounced about a day ago. A friend of a friend of a friend's knows the guy. We're kind of looking into him. And all I know is the guy's name is Jaden. And then like immediately afterwards, you get someone's like, stop saying guy. We told you they're non-binary. It's like, whatever, they're a guy. And then it just becomes a whole thread of people arguing about pronouns.
No. Mute that. It's like, all right, I got the guy. I got their first name.
Right. Jaydon.
Their first name is Jaden.
Mhm.
So there is something we can go on.
Oh. As I've been like going through my gold and my supplies to figure out what I owe the guild, and I'm like,
Where'd you get gold, man? Jeez.
Do either of you need gold?
Yes.
no, it's fine. I'll get it.
I always want it. Of course. It's like, oh God.
What's your character's name again?
Cheap Shot.
Yeah. So you could kind of see Aegea just obviously like do a couple things with her UI, and then she just hands what looks like a little sack over to, Cheap Shot, and you now have 1,000 gold. Because if it's anything like it is once again in real life MMOs, then as soon as I make an alt, I send that alt a lot of money
Right. So you can
so that they can
life?
gear up.
Oh my God.
And you have enough wealth that you could literally just buy that much gold.
Oh yeah, you can gold farm for that. I was about to ask if gold farming is a thing.
It probably is.
Yep, it is.
Only
so
it's
as you're
sanctioned by the
talking,
narrators and has storylines.
another quell in leather armor looks like kind of like a praying mantis. Walks up to what's your character name, Matthew?
Intos.
Intos. Walks up to Intos and just clicking his like going, I understand you need a guild.
I don't need no. I'm.
It points over your head where there's a nameplate that the guild is, that there's a guild line has been struck through.
Oh, it is. It's a complicated situation. I'm a little overdue on my dues, but why do you ask? I mean,
We are always looking for people who are willing to embrace the culture of Sinestia and to make sure they understand their full potential and the narrative glory of the world. You're being recruited to an RP guild.
yeah, that's what I thought. And he's like, I appreciate the offer, but unfortunately, I have other obligations right now. I do appreciate it, though.
You have made an enemy this day, and it storms off.
He's like,
Well, that was dramatic.
well, I'm just
That's the role
racking
player.
up- I am just.
You check their nameplate; they're level 2.
I'm just racking up my
I bet his guild has like 4,000 people in it.
probably.
They're all level 2.
I'll like shout out. I'll like raise my voice like, "Don't worry, if he gives you crap, I'll punt him through a wall."
Can we
That's-
not antagonize the role players today?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was being nice. I was being friendly.
Yeah, but Lorge wasn't.
I know Lorge wasn't, because Lorge is Lorge.
Well, I was talking to you then. I was talking to Lorge.
Okay.
Anyway,
Unfortunately, we have a name, so we can look into this.
we also have a direction if we want to look in game.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's look in game. I mean,
Let's head there. Maybe send this Jaden a message, and
Yeah.
maybe the two threads will intertwine.
I was about to say we came all this way, but we've kind of just teleported here. So, oh well.
Pretty much how it works.
Where are you going?
Well, before we leave, I do want to. I'll like he'll pull out his little dinky axe again. I do want to try and trade this out for some armor.
Yeah,
It's kind
I'm
of
just
useless to me
gonna
now.
I need to
Yeah,
buy a magic focus.
Let me go get some. Follow me. I know a few people, non-guild associates that may be able to help you.
Yeah, let's try to do this through an NPC merchant. I apparently can bend their minds with my magical bird mouth.
Yeah, that tends to work. So Eddie, it looks like we were going shopping.
Okay.
Yay to market!
We're going to turn this into a shopping montage.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Where sometimes we come out in armor and we're like, yeah, and then sometimes they're like,
Right, exactly.
And like once you come out in like a floral dress, and we're like, yeah, that really works on that beer. I like it.
It accents the
I am
feathers.
live.
Yeah, lots of pictures of like items under glass and on rugs and gold changing hands and stuff like that. So you're looking for a magic focus.
Yeah.
You have a disturbing amount of cash for your level.
Yeah, sure do.
So if you want to, we could say you can have a focus with the elemental tag, if that's something you want.
Yeah, sure.
What element type do you prefer? Fire, ice, shock, earth, void, or ether?
We'll go with ice, considering we're about to traverse a
Are
desert.
you really going to take the exact focus I have?
Bruh. I can change
I'm going to
it
change
if
mine
I
to
wanted.
water because water wasn't on the list of the thing I had. That was my own fault. I was using the old document again.
Actually, water's not one of the options.
Well, then it was ice. Okay.
Fire, ice, shock, earth, void, or ether.
I think it's terribly appropriate that two characters have the exact same focus of ice going into a desert. That
Right.
is the most MMO RPG thing I could think of.
All right. Sweet.
I'm looking just for some crafting materials, if there's anything I can try to get my hands on.
What are you trying to craft?
I actually don't know, Eddie, so you're going to need to help me out because I haven't looked at a lot of the crafting material,
Fair enough.
crafting rules.
What we'll say is that you have bought a couple of crates of crafting materials, and then after crafting, we can dig into that more.
Okay, sure. I don't want to take up the time. That's fine. I'm just
and then the axe, you want to just dump it, or you want to swap it out for armor? You said.
Yeah, I want to swap it up for armor.
Okay, so the axe is normal. So you're only going to get common tags on the armor. And for listeners' perspective, basically how equipment works is it's ultimately just a collection of item tags, but the item tags have different rarities. So you can't have a tag that is a higher rarity than the item you're putting it on, and items can only carry so many tags. So in this case, you're swapping out a common item which has 2 tags of common rarity, so you can swap it out for a different common item with 2 tags of common rarity. So you can have enhanced, which give you +1 health point. And checking the other common tags, that makes sense. That's it. So basically, if you really want to, with a little bit of money from Poppy, you can double that up.
Sure.
So his armor would give you +2 health points.
I dig it.
Okay. There we go. Any other, and also, we'll just say for purpose of this game that if you want to change, buy new clothing or costuming, that's going to be trivial to do.
Right. I have some more. He actually does buy some more quell like desert clothing, but for a giant insect. So that's interesting.
Nice. Anything else anybody wants?
Nope.
Okay.
Right.
Where are you going to next?
I think we're gonna head out to the Sand Sea where this guy got derezzed.
Okay. As I mentioned, to the east is the water basin, but when if you go to the north instead, there is where the kind of the Sand Sea starts, and the Sand Sea is kind of what it describes in the sense that it is just a massive array of almost kind of like quicksands. It's just very loose sand that's constantly churning and thriving. So people actually sail boats over the Sand Sea.
Okay.
And And so you can either get a boat and try to sail across the sand sea, and then there are islands of sands that you can then explore, which is probably what Hellcastro tried to do.
Mhm.
Or you can try to walk around the sand sea and see if you can find paths through. It's possible, although apocryphal. No one actually has any evidence this happened, but theoretically it's possible to walk through the sand sea without using a boat. Most people just hire a boat.
Was he walking when
He was walking.
Mhm.
So he may have been trying to find that mythical path through.
What do you all want to try to do?
Let's
Right.
replicate what he was doing. I mean,
This will take a little longer, and we'll have to probably be on the lookout, but we can probably do it. Let me.
So we want to literally retrace the steps.
Yes.
Do we have do we have the video going far back enough, Eddie, to like see where he started, or do we need to just like get out?
You
there
only
and
have
do it?
about a minute's worth of video.
Okay,
You
yeah.
could try to pull up his old stream
Sure.
and get the video on demand.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally,
got
we'll
the
do that.
odds there.
It is 7 hours long.
Well, we just want to see the last 5-10 minutes, right?
Well, I mean, 5-10 minutes. If you want to retrace his steps, he started 7 hours.
Oh, okay. So I think we should probably get a boat and go out to near where he ended.
yeah.
sounds like a good idea. Yep.
Though,
yep,
though,
yep.
I'll make a note of this. This will be something I may want to try later. But regardless, that's not here or there right now.
Or you could just like run a scan or whatever it is you do on the footage.
Scan for X.
I will
Enhance.
Enhance.
Well, that's kind of what I already did, and I only got so far with it. It wasn't altered. I know that, other than what we saw. I just got a few more details. But
Maybe we'll be lucky and there'll just be a big black stain where he was.
Yeah, let's get a boat.
A black stain that has weirdly changed in the shape of an X.
We'll get a boat. I guess we can rent a boat.
I see.
Okay.
I don't see why we couldn't afford that.
As we all look to Aegea.
I'm gonna pass the leadership of the party on to Lorge because as Kumdari, he started the game here.
Yep.
So I figured that he knows the best way to navigate the Sand Sea.
Okay.
All right. So the crown like dissipates off her. You get a little crown over your head, and then you can decide if you want to make it look cool or not.
Yeah, I mean, he makes it look cool by making it like looking super gnarly,
Like a Mad Max crown.
yeah, like a Mad Max bleached bone crown.
Nice.
And it's just like, all right, well, these boat guys, they can be uppity, so you kind of have to growl at them a bit and maybe sniff a butt or two.
I'm not doing that.
Don't worry, I've sniffed plenty of butts in the time in this game.
He's got us covered.
I have made so many mistakes describing them as dog people on some level. They're not dogs. They're big animals.
Now.
He has some questionable achievements.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, we'll head up, rent a boat, go to the boat renters.
Okay, so you make your way over, and the Sand Sea docks are a bit away from the town. The town is not yet grown up to embrace the dock area, so it's a little kind of empty. There aren't actually a lot of characters around. You only see a few. All of them appear to be boat merchants, and you can rent kind of different sizes of boats. Some are just like a pontoon for a single character. You probably want something a little larger. And as you walk up, you see that there are 3 different Kumdari. One's pretty large and just seems to be kind of staring off in space. The other 2 are smaller, kind of one is grayish clothing, the other one is kind of brownish clothing, and they're talking to each other in a language you don't understand, which is usually code for they're talking in TeamSpeak or private, or
Right.
the NPCs are talking about conversations that you aren't aware of.
All right. I mean, I'll keep an eye on them, but I'll head over to the merchant.
And as you walk over, immediately turns to you and is like, welcome, friend. I am Tudor. I am here to rent boats if you wish to go to the Sand Sea.
That is what we're here for, my friend.
Excellent. 5 gold will allow you to rent the boat for the next 5 hours.
Plop.
Okay. You hand 5 gold into his paw, and he puts it into his pocket, and then there's a kind of stutter like he goes back, like there's no transition, just jerks back to staring off. And then he goes, "Welcome, friend. I am Tudor. I understand you want to rent a boat."
Ooh, we found a glitch.
Interesting.
Huh.
Oh, hey, he was like reading something on a website, and then he goes back. Oh, interesting.
Or
Yeah, we want to rent a boat. I just gave you 5 gold.
It is 5 gold to go rent the boat for 5 hours.
So Poppy puts 5 gold into his hand, or his paw.
Thank you. He puts it in his pocket, and then the kind of jerk happens again. And he goes, "Welcome, friends. I am Tudor. I am."
All right, we're going to try this another way. I'm going to pull out my axe and say, like, okay, I'm tired of you extorting us.
Don't threaten the NPCs in the city.
"Oh,
Don't
friends. I am simple merchant who is just trying to rent a boat."
I can just let me hold on, Lord. Let me try something.
Are there
Hey,
any
let's see
boats
if I
in
can
the
break-
area?
Yeah, there's several.
Okay.
If there's a break where the transaction's taking place, maybe I can make the transaction go to 0 and see if that works it out.
Yeah, I can pull something. How does trying to look at Terra Surge's code while you're in the game work? If that is even physically
You really
possible?
can't see the
You
code.
really can't see the code. So hacking, quote unquote, in the game is really more about bug exploitation.
Mhm,
That's
yeah.
what I'm trying about to do.
Yeah.
Like, my good friend, perhaps you have forgotten that we have already paid you, and we should already be allowed to be going for free. And I'll try to use persuasion on him.
Okay. Using your Anima's persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay. So saturation dice rolling in Anima, you could choose which approach makes sense. In Anima, we don't have 9 attributes; we have 3 approaches, and generally pick the approach that makes sense for what you're trying to do. And if that it's forceful. I should look real quick. It is force, finesse, and resilience are the 3 approaches, and so it sounds like finesse is probably the one you're going for.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to finesse him.
Okay.
So 8 dice. Whee!
8 or higher.
Golly. Well, that didn't go super great, but hold on. Well, shoot. Only 1 success.
One says, okay. He kind of looked confused and reaches into his pouch and pulls out some gold and goes, "I do not remember you giving me this gold, but I do seem to have more gold than I did before."
Indeed, my friend. Perhaps it's the hot sun. Wink.
It has been a while since I have had some water. That is perhaps true. Well, you seem like a reputable person. So yes, for 5 hours you may use my boat.
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much. I stand proudly as the paladin.
and definitely kind of keeping his eye on Lorge.
It's okay, Lord. We have different ways of doing things.
Look, man, I can be so much more crude down here than I can in the real world. Like out there, you can get shot.
Right. But in here, we're trying to follow the path of somebody who is playing the game kind of normally, from what we can tell. The last thing we want to do is start killing guards and get dropped into an instanced version of the city where we can slaughter all the guards, and the narrators are isolating us from everything else.
Kill him. I was just intimidating him, but apparently
he
being
was just
sweeter is better.
glitching out. It wasn't his normal parameters of operation.
It wasn't like he was being a dick.
Yeah, he
You
wasn't
can't
being a
threaten a
difficult
glitch.
merchant. He was literally broken and still trying to figure out how I can.
I'm
look
not
at
going to
code.
argue the ethics of what Lorge attempted to do because it would have also worked had it worked, probably.
Maybe.
So, but I do see your point, Poppy. Being put in the like. I don't quite understand the whole layers and instancing thing you guys are talking about. I kind of understand it, but I see your point.
We just want to stay in the main game.
Right.
And if we start doing something ridiculous, they're going to take us out of the main game and put us in our own version of the game so that we're not breaking it for other players.
Therefore,
and that's not where we need to be.
And therefore
way we
we
can
would be
know?
isolated from everyone else and most anything else that we would need to interact with.
I am sufficiently browbeaten. Let's get on the boat.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just explaining it to
Oh.
our other friend.
That's fine.
So Lorge gets on the boat, and a message pops up saying, "You have not rented passage on this boat."
Are you
This is beginning to piss me off. Someone is messing with us.
And then the message just appears, and you see another message that says, "Ha ha ha! We took your guildmate. Now we've taken your gold. Signed, the Shadows of Ending."
These motherfuckers. Sorry, we're not. We're cursing. We're dropping F bombs here, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Everyone else
already
hears
have.
these bleep. And we'll call it there.
All right. All right. No. All right, everyone. See you in episode 3.
Trace.
Hope you're having fun. We are.
Bye.
Bye.